Hi, my name is Guang. For this lesson, we'll be continuing on with another lesson for methods of limit calculation. For this lesson of limit calculation, we are given limit x approaches to 1, x squared plus ax plus b over 1 minus x equals to 2, and we're supposed to find the values of a and b. So here once again we're going to use three methods to solve this question. Okay, so first method that we're going to use is the L'Hopital's rule. So for the L'Hopital's rule, what we have here is so here you use the L'Hopital's rule and you get for this part become a -1, while the numerator over here you get 2x, then after that you whole plus a, then that's it. So basically 2x plus a over -1, and basically over here and if you were to sub it in, what you have for this part would be so this will be equal to 2. So what do we have over here is that, so what can we tell from this part? So over here a would be equals to, so a will have to be equal to -4. So for this part a equals to -4, so for this would be equals to 2, and then now that we have gotten for this part, so technically for this it's supposed to be a 0 over 0, right? So because that we need to use these methods to solve it, this is going to be a 0 over 0, since if you substitute this part in the denominator you get 0, but for the numerator you will have to let x squared plus ax plus b be equals to 0, and thus for this part what we'll have over here is that since we know what a is, what we have over here will be b minus 3 will be equals to 0, and thus b is equals to 3. So that's for our first method by using the L'Hopital's rule. Well, for our second method, method 2, we'll be using factorization and partial fractions. So now that we have gotten to this part, what we'll have is, so limit, so over here for this part what we'll do is, Then after that what we have is, so supposingly these two, when you times them together, you'll get so supposingly for this part, when you times these two together, you're going to get this part, right? So here what you're going to have is that these two simplify, and then you have which over here will be equals to 2, thus the C over here will be equals to 3, and so over here, since the x squared plus ax plus b is equals to this, you have the c minus x. So for this part, what you're going to have here is that, so now we know c is equals to 3, and all what we're going to have here will be wait, so give me one sec. So over here, what you're going to get for this part will be so since it's like this, so over here because of these x and all, so b will be equals to c, which is equal to 3, while a will be equals to negative c plus 1, which is negative 4, and thus we get what a and b are. And for our last method that we'll be using, we will still be using the same method as method 2 but different, which, so we can tell that this is going to still be factorization and partial fractions. So what do we have here? Now that we're on method 3, so if you compare to method 2, the names are the same, right? But even though both are about factorization and partial fractions, they are still different in some senses. So over here for this part, so over here what will happen is that for this part, instead of separating them into these two parts, we'll put plus 1 minus 1. So therefore, So that for this part, what we'll get here will be, so x squared minus 1 is basically x plus 1 times x minus 1. But here what we have is 1 minus x, so there will be an extra negative in front. So what we'll have will be, so 1 minus x, and then for this part, we will have a negative x minus 1, so negative x minus 1 times, so basically negative x plus 1, then after that it will times x 1 minus x. So over here for this part, what we'll have for this will be, but despite the fact that we have gotten for the part that have x squared, we still have the part that just have x, and here what we are going to do is that we are going to plus a minus a, whereas over here the minus a for this part will be combined with this, and thus what we'll get will be, so what you're going to get is a times x minus 1, but since you need the 1 minus x instead, so you have an extra negative, and here your minus a, so technically speaking you can just take this outside and these will be plus. Then after that here you plus b plus a plus 1, then after that 1 minus x. Because of this negative, so it becomes an x minus 1 instead. Then now that we have gotten this power, we're going to have next will be, so here for this part, this over here will be equals to 2. So for this part, what we'll have here is that, so x is equals to 1, so here we have So for this part, it will substitute inside, this will just straight up become another 1, so it becomes negative 2 minus a. Well, for this, what you're going to get from here is that a is equals to, so over here you get negative 4 from this part, and then from the top part over here you're going to get that b is equals to 3. And now that you have gotten for both of these parts, so here if you compare the results for all three methods, you'll realize that they are the same, so all the results are correct. And for our first method, we use the L'Hopital's rule. For the second method, we factorize it, after that have we partial fraction.